It's kind of wild. I know I'm talking about AI again, but this is a little bit like this is a little different than what people have been kind of saying for a while. You remember, I don't know if a lot of people may not, but around 2014 to about 2019, a lot of people used to talk about how dumb copyright was, specifically artists, right? Now, for a lot of people that are new to this whole social media thing and have been around in 2020 and maybe especially in this current year, maybe have kind of joined social media a little bit later, a lot of people did not recognize that it's AI has changed so many people's opinions so quickly because of the fact that it just steals shit. So many artists, so many creators, so many people that used to make art not used to, they still do, but people that used to be involved in a creative process actually had a project that existed that was how do I say it? That was it was trying to eliminate copyright. I know to a lot of people that are listening to this or looking at this, that's a crazy thing to think about, right? But it was a project that people were trying to come together to get rid of, because when people were trying to use fair use things, a lot of people didn't understand what fair use was. So people wanted to change it a little bit, right? Go into a project and try to use something that was fair use and still basically just get rid of copyright as a whole. Because the only people it used to benefit was billion-dollar companies like Disney, Universal, DreamWorks, Sony, Ubisoft, whatever company, right? Nintendo obviously was huge on that. It's crazy that not even 6 years ago by now, but pre-COVID, we all used to have this one agreement that just used to be everybody thought copyright was pointless. And it wasn't with no merit, right? The reason why people thought about that was because a lot of people were looking at a lot of 80s music, 80s TV shows, 80s based media, and people looked at that and was even without copyright around, people made a bunch of remixes and copies and clones of things, sure, but there was also the ones that did the best were the people that tended to make more creative things, right? Having that creative freedom to remix someone else's stuff, or that creative freedom to do something more unique with something that already maybe existed, but doing something that you thought would you could do better was a common thing. And the standard of media kept going up and up and up and up, and people kept wanting more and more unique things, more and more ways of expressing art the best way possible. And copyright came around. And then, Disney went freaking crazy on that, right? And then then parody came, and then somebody made a parody of that Disney stuff of them doing that. And then they sued the shit out of that guy, right? And then this guy was well, I think copyright's stupid. If people make a parody of it and they don't make money off of it, well, that's fair use. Let's do that, right? He lost that luck, that court case, but then they brought it back again and went well, what's the harm in somebody making a parody of something, or a joke about something, or a satire about something, and that's still free speech, so we could do that because it's not they're not making money off of it, right? And so that law came into place. That fair use law came into place later, I think it was in the 90s, right? 90s, early 2000s. So, like, it's crazy to me that, like, AI has changed people, like, generative AI just has changed people's opinions on that. And the reason why that is because of the case of people don't want people to get more gray, right? IT people have the least creative minds. I'm going to just say, like, I've said it millions of times and people, like, get so pissed off at me for that. But people that are hugely invested into technology and IT, they have no creative minds. I mean, you see that with, like, and I know that, you know, billionaires are not, like, the best example of this, but even furries have, like, IT furries that I met constantly, time and time again. It's like they don't understand the idea that art is not logical. Art is not like a art is not like a thing that you just put together like a math problem. It doesn't come to the same math problem every time. It's like if you know, with IT, it's, you know, 12 plus 12 is 24, but like with art, it's like 12 plus 12 equals fish and aerobics for some odd reason. Like it doesn't make sense, and that's the point. It's not supposed to. And with AI, it's trying to bring logic to something that isn't logical. And the only reason why you see generative stuff that actually, you know, I'm not gonna lie, some people get kind of creative with it, and it's funny. But those people know what shitposting is, right? Like, everybody's seen the one with the dog that like walks up to like the old person's house and either blows up or like fucking blasts, like fire hoses the freaking like the old person and demolishes them with water, right? And yes, water. I'm not talking about this fucking piss king thing. Whatever. Anyway, it's like, I just think people need to think a little bit about what this is, because like, artists are not against you. They never have been. Like, they're against a robot because it's a robot. We're not going to give it a personality. If it gains sentience, then maybe even then we would still not be that towards it anyway. But like, I just think that basic human fucking empathy and basic human like interaction, like things that are human, are important to keep. And we were trying to do that. But now, unfortunately, the project that was trying to get rid of copyright, that I was trying to be a part of for a while, like, it was only recent. I was only in it for like a couple of years, but it's crazy that project's gone. That whole thing, gone. It doesn't exist anymore. Every artist used to talk about this thing all the time, and we're trying to push so hard to get rid of copyright because they thought, like, it's like, this thing is pointless. There's no reason for it. The fact that you, like, that, not you, but the fact that AI generative, like, you know, imaging, prompting, artifice, specifically artifice, and yes, that's what it's called, like, AI generative prompting artifice has just changed the minds of artists. That is really fucking hard to do. I mean, it's not, like I said, it's good when it's like good things that we change our mind on, but it is really hard to change something like having a project that had thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, and it just got disintegrated because everybody's like, well, fuck it, it has a point now. Like, now we have to sit back and just like pull ourselves back and be like, whatever, let's let the corporations now demolish this thing, because I'm like, because none of us are gonna, like, you know, none of us are gonna fight that anymore. You gave them a reason to use that shit. Like, I just don't think, like, people understand how big of a deal that is. It's just, I've just not been seeing this, like, this, I've not been seeing this, like, plot brought up once. not plot, this, fucking, what's the name of it? This, yeah, this problem. I've just never seen people bring up this, like, talking point. Like, I've never seen people bring this up. And I know there's a reason why these people don't bring it up, because, like, AI bros and AI prompters are going to use this and be like, oh, well, see, you guys used to hate copyright, or like, you guys used to hate copyright. I'm like, yeah, but you're missing the fucking point of why we hate, like, of why we hate in the first place, and you're missing the point of, like, why we want to protect it now. It's like, it used to be such an easy, like, art never has had this barrier of being, like, of being able to be entered into, right? Like, it wasn't that hard to draw. It's not that hard to pick up a fucking pencil and draw something. It's not that hard to go to a free art program, which there are hundreds now, like, and just draw. It's so easy to do it. IBS Paint is like IBS Paint and Clip are used a lot for like phones. And if you want to like, get really into it later, then you can go to the ones that aren't free because those are professional programs. It's the same thing with music, right? Like, art is music. It's it's music, it's animation, it's just even just like painting. It's like, I mean, even commentary videos sometimes. I mean, it's more than just a way of like, it's more than just a thing that's exist, right? It's something that people have been doing for a long time, ever since, fucking caveman paintings. And it's just like, people don't want to get rid of that, right? Like, don't get me wrong, shit posters are, posting a bunch of, stupid AI, like, slop stuff, but some of them are funny. It's because they know what they're doing. It's okay to have this exist, it just needs to be a little different. Like, that's the problem. It's just like, don't humanize it. Don't try to pretend like it's a real person, because it's an assistant for you, right? It's not necessarily a tool unless you make it a tool. It's just not that impressive when you generate something. It's not impressive when you do Google searching and then send a fucking video. It's impressive for like the technology, and the robot was able to do it, but it's not impressive that you shared it, right? Because when I share art, right? When I share memes, when I share art, people look at the whole picture there and be like, oh, a person drew that, right? It's like a person drew that, and that's like, and they voiced it or got voice actors and edited it and like took all these jigsaw pieces and put them together and made something. And that's the difference. A robot made your thing. A robot didn't make mine. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trying to be the guy that's like, I'm not trying to be the guy that's all fucking, like, by this point, I don't really care. Like, AI, AI has reached the fucking point where now it replicates what everybody else can do now, right? It replicates what everybody else can do. I mean, it's pretty not very great when you hit pause on it, but I don't think people care about that. But now, maybe. Fucking maybe. It's like, now all it's just doing is competing with us. That's it. We're not gonna leave. So, I just don't think that, like, I don't think that it's really gonna do much now. These people, it's at the peak. It's hit its peak. Everybody's like, oh, well, it'll get better. I'm like from what? It's already there. It's gotten to the top point that it ever could. Like, it can do things realistically. I mean, it will probably fix, like, small things, like, people not, like, falling through floors and shit. But, like, I don't know, it's already done it. Like, I don't think it needs to go any further. Like, maybe that's me, but, like, I don't think there's anywhere for it to go. I'm like, sure, there's, like, little fixes you could do where, like, some things look a little off. But like, I don't know. It just, there's so many things that like a robot can do. Like, and even when it can, you know, it doesn't do it that well, right? Like, I don't know. It does what it has to. It does what it's told to. And then, like, that's just the thing, right? Like, you don't make any modifications while working on it. You don't change things while working on it. You don't, like, you don't try to fix anything. Like, you don't try to be like, ooh, you know what? I actually want to do this instead. Like, because art is a, like, super long, arduous, like, sometimes annoying process, right? There's so many emotions you pour into the damn thing and so many things that happen in between you making it that you start drawing things, right? Like you start drawing different things that you were like, oh, I didn't think about this later. Or writing, even people that write books, it's like, well, I didn't think about this. Let me change this. Right? Like it used to be something. Like it not used. It is something, right? Like it's always been something. You don't do that with a robot. You know, you don't do that with something that's just trying to give you the end result. Because you're just, instead of just commissioning a person and, you know, feeding somebody, especially for the people I have like kids, instead of just like paying for somebody's rent, you're just paying a giant corporation money to make that same thing that a person could have just made anyway. And at this point, for the same price, maybe not like a huge artist, but again, like, I don't know, just 10 cents per generation. And you have to pay like a $20 subscription every month at like minimum. And the video can only be so long, right? And I think it's like, you know, 10 cents every like second or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, sure, that doesn't sound like a lot, but then you make what, like, you know, you make a minute and like 60 cents. And then on top of it as well, if it fucks up, you have to like change it again and again and again and again. And you have to like slot things in to be like, hey, like fix this, fix that, fix that. It's so much money. I saw some artist on here that does really good art that charges $10 for like a half body of a character. And like, I mean, maybe they're a teenager, but it looks good. I just, by a certain point, like it just, artists have become cheaper than the robot. And you get what you want with artists because they could change it because they have the original file. They have like the original program and like they can delete small lines and like change things around a bit and give people other things and they can move things around. I mean, you know, AI just can't necessarily do that. It doesn't give you the same exact thing. Like it changes things slightly and it kind of ruins what the original thing was about, you know? Like I don't really see the point in it. But obviously that's just me, right? You know, I've been rambling for 20 minutes now. So I just think it's strange. You know, I think it's weird. I don't know why like people think that this is like gonna do anything. I mean, it's gonna do bad things by like, you know, obviously the environment. It does more than freaking giant like 100 factories apparently, and like destroys power grids and, you know, ends up making how you say it, and like ends up, I don't know, like, you know, consuming a shitload of water and stuff. And I mean, it does, like, and then on top of it as well, you can make, like, propaganda and make something that's not real into, like, you know, make something that's not real and post it and then have people, like, think that it's real. So it's like, nobody has seen good in AI, and people have gotten the artists to shut up about, like, about how unnecessary copyright used to be. This didn't need to exist. It didn't. We were here. And on top of it as well, anyone could have joined our community. And that's the problem. right? You know, who knows? Who knows? I don't know. By this point, I guess I could be AI, but you know, I don't think really people are gonna. Like I said, I don't think people really find that any craziness, like anything crazy, especially with how much I'm stuttering. So, it's whatever, right? Like it exists. It's whatever. It will be there, and people will keep making shit posts, I guess, because that's all they can really do. But I'm hoping they do something more with it. But you know, I'm hoping they do something with I don't know. I hope Disney just like completely just yoinks it and doesn't let anybody else use it, like, and only lets giant corporations, like, you know, only the big corporations that people know about, like, use it. Because by then, I don't know, you'll just finally get rid of like slop on social media. Because I really just don't want, I just don't. Because I don't really, you know, I don't really like, you know, watch a whole lot of Disney things. I don't watch a whole lot of like Netflix things anyway. Like, I don't know. It would just be kind of nice to just have these corporate companies just kind of yoink it and not let anybody else use it. And all of a sudden, you know, the only, and then, you know, then just, you know, YouTube and like TikTok and Twitch will at least go back to being human again, and you won't have to like sit here and be like, oh shit, what's real, what's not real, right? Because that's the thing that's been giving a shitload of people of anxiety. People probably think that this is AI. Like, I can't tell you how wild that is. I don't know. Anyway, I gotta take a piss, so